This is Tim Albright with the Almo E4 Evolution Experience. Thanks so much for joining us. Today, we're talking about direct view LED, and with me to do that from Absen is Feifan Liu. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Tim. Hello, everyone.
So direct view LED has made leaps and bounds over the last 10, 15 years as the pitch count has gone down, the pitch size has gone down. Refresh everybody's memory. The pitch, what we call the pitch, is the distance in millimeters between each individual LED. Lots of interesting installations, artistic installations, unique experiences. But Feifan, from your perspective, what makes direct view LED so special or so unique?
Yes, first of all, when we talk about the display technology, you need to understand display technology is to pass information to people. And we are comparing direct view LED to LCD or projections.
Okay.
This is the first advantage of direct view LED is that it can work in various applications. As you may see, mostly for LCD or projection, we use it in indoor environments. But for direct view LED, depending on different product, it can be used in outdoors, can provide dust and water protection, and it can provide enough brightness which you need in outdoor environment. So which makes it suit more market and sign in the display area.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I will also mention about the lifetime. As you know, for projections, you may need to change your equipment frequently, but for direct view LEDs, you can expect longer lifetime. So it can save you the overall lifetime cost for you.
We'll talk about that for a second. It's a common phrase, both from engineers as well as manufacturers and distributors, talking about total cost of ownership, right? TCO.
Yes.
Talk about that for a second. And when you look at the price tag, and I'm not going to ask you for MSRP or anything for any of your products, but how do you advise dealers and distributors when they're talking with their clients about TCO and you're comparing LCD to projection to direct view?
Mm-hmm. So first of all, let's make it clear that the product with different price to different jobs. As I mentioned, some of the unique jobs which you can only use the direct view LED. So we're not going to compare that part of price. But for something similar, we will say maybe you see the direct view LED, the total overall price is a little bit higher than a TV in your home. But the difference is that it works not enough, and it provides a bigger area of view. For example, for your TV, I believe maybe for your monitors, it's 55 inches diagonal. But for a LED, you can do a much more bigger, which allows you to watch the content clearly from a longer distance. So that's why the cost of the direct view LED is not like the similar way it goes with your TVs or your monitors.
Talk for a second about how you and other folks through places like through Absen or Almo with their distributorship and helping dealers. How do you assist and train or educate engineers, design engineers, on designing direct view LED systems, whether that's a simple rectangle, typical replacement for a projection screen or an LCD, or unique applications that have kind of that modular look and feel?
That's a good question, Tim. So actually, comparing to the projections, LED displays currently need more expertise from the manufacturers to help people to have full solutions. I would say, first of all, we need to start with applications to pick up proper product. Like we say, for example, if you are in an environment that has bright, ambient light, you would prefer to provide a product with higher brightness. And so that's just a simple example. You need to pick up the proper product line, which is the one part we would be very happy to help. And the second point is that you need to consider about the whole control system in the backend, like the network, the cabling, the fiber, or any front-end device. That's part related to the source that our customer will use. Just take a simple example, like our customer has various input, various source, like from a PC, from their media player, and you would like this to show on a single screen with different outs. Then in this case, outside of our LED displays, you need a front video processor to make this happen. So that would be an important part to prepare in the solution. And we also provide assistance in the structural considerations, like particularly in outdoor applications, you will need a steel frame to install the panels on. So we will provide kind of like the mechanical drawings of our LED screens to show you where the mounting point is and what the structure will basically look like. Although we are not setting the structure, but we will provide information assistance to you. And this is just some points that we will provide assistance, but how would that become true? We will hold the ACE trainings, which is Absen Certificate Engineering. We will train our no matter dealers, distributors, or anyone interested in. We will train people from the basics of the LED and to the application to control systems. And we also have some localized partners to provide the overall solutions to our customers.
So creating that kind of that partnership and helping, connect your dealers and your clients
Yes.
with, folks who can put these systems in, or at least provide them with systems. That's incredibly important. You talked for a second about the control systems. What are some of the areas that folks forget about when it comes to direct view LED? Yes, you've got a pretty picture, right? And yes, you can get it as large as you want, or you can put it in different parts and pieces, put it in different shapes. But the direct view LED part is not the only part that makes that happen, right? You mentioned the video controller, you mentioned the structuring. What else goes into a successful direct view LED system?
I would say basically the most important part is between the source to the LED screen. First of all, the source, of course, comes from the clients. It's what they need. And then what we need to do is, first of all, to process those contents. So I won't, speak a specific brand because we are, taking input from all the brand of processors. But the important point is to process those images, to set up the correct layout that the customer wants, and then provide the proper output to the LED system. And the LED system also includes the display itself and the controllers. So we need to build the connection between the video processor to the controller. And there's a lot of stuff we can consider between those parts. Like one simple example is about the transportation of the signal, right?
Yeah.
So in case that your source is like a far away distance from the controller or the rack or the screens, you need to consider about the fiber solution. That's all the part of things we need to consider in the system solutions.
You mentioned at the very beginning of this the outdoor LED, direct view LED, and digital out of home, DOOH.
Yeah.
What other verticals do you see direct view LED making significant inroads in the next few years?
Okay, so outdoor signage, DOH, as you mentioned, is an important part of the LED, but it also, we have a very large part in indoors, kind of like in commercial displays. For example, when you enter big companies, you will have some kind of like a screen showing the introduction.
Kind of like in the lobby area with.
Yes, in the lobby area, and most important, in your conference room.
Okay.
People today, when you have a meeting, it's very good to have a big, bright, direct view LED, on the back and in the conference room. No matter you open the windows, you close the windows, you can see the content clearly. And outside of the company, for example, when we go to church, it's also good to have the LED screens to help us see more clearly regarding the content. And when you go to the entertainment, you have the worship, you have the theme park, which is wherever you can see the LED screens.
Yeah. So you've got house of worship, you've got corporate, obviously, education. Another area that also seems to be evolving and emerging is medical, right? We're not necessarily in the surgery theater, but other areas as well is also developing as a vertical for direct view LED.
Yes.
Real quickly, Feifan, I want you to kind of take it out and look at the future, right? The trajectory, I guess, of direct view LED from where we are today, where we're sitting at roughly 0.9, 0.7 pitch, the 0.7 millimeter pitch. So that's the difference between the LEDs. Where do you see it going, let's say in the next 2 to 3 years?
So as you can see, as of today, the front end of the pixel pitch are reaching to sub 1 millimeters, like what you mentioned, 0.9, 0.7. But the technology here is not completely mature. I mean, the technology and the supply chain. So we are actually currently, we are making it mature. We are trying to provide not only a technology, but a mature solution to the market. So that's the current step. But considering to the future, it will go down substantially from sub 1 millimeters to lower pitch. And during that path, during that way, different manufacturers may use different paths. And it may take a longer time to, when we actually got to, for example, the millimeters, the micro LEDs. But on the path, we will see how the things that change. For example, currently, we are trying to use in the IMD technology, which is the first step to mini LED. The mini LED is kind of like an intermediate between the traditional LED and the micro LED in the future. It kind of goes like 0.9 millimeters, 0.7 millimeters, or maybe 0.5 millimeters in the future. And when we see this technology is going to be mature, we will move to the next step. And it may take 2 or 3 years. But all of this is for the indoor applications. The outdoor application is different. So currently we are at, I would say around 3 to 4 millimeters. That's the smallest outdoor we can do. But we are also working front towards to lower down the pixel pitches like sub 3 millimeters. And I believe the market will see in the next 1 or 2 years.
You mentioned the fact that the outdoor LEDs are, the direct view LEDs are different, right? Right now we're sitting at 4 millimeter, 3 millimeter. Real briefly, why is that?
It's because the requirement of the environment is different. First of all, the brightness. You know, when it comes to indoor, you can only have 800 or 1,000 nits. That's enough. But as for outdoor, you need at least 4,500 or 5,000 nits.
Wow.
When you increase the brightness, you get a lot of more heat. That's the important issue when it comes to outdoor. And also you need to consider the water and dust protection. So that's all different factors. That's all the factors makes outdoor application different.
All right, makes complete sense. You protect the LEDs and protect the components, but also get rid of some of that heat that's generated by 5,000 nits. Good Lord. All right. Feifan Liu from Absen, thank you so much.
Thank you, Tim.
And thank you for watching this Almo E4 Evolution experience talking about direct view LED.